Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Deji Badimasi. Nigeria's Health Minister Professor Onyebuchi confirmed Tuesday that the dreaded Ebola virus has been successfully contained in Nigeria. Onyebuchi made the declaration at a media briefing in Abuja, where he also said 2 patients have been discharged and are now Ebola-free.
Today is the 38th day since the Ebola virus disease was imported into Nigeria by a Liberian American. As of today, the 26th August 2014, Nigeria has had 13 cases of Ebola virus disease, including the index case. Of these 13, 5, including the index case, unfortunately, did not survive the disease and are now late. However, 7 of the infected persons were successfully managed at the isolation ward in Lagos and have been discharged home. 2 of the treated patients, a male doctor and a female nurse, were discharged yesterday. Both of them primary contacts of the American, Mr. Patrick Sawyer. Both of them were discharged yesterday evening, the 25th August 2014, having satisfied the criteria for discharge. As I speak to you, Nigeria has only 1 confirmed case of Ebola virus disease, a secondary contact of Mr. Patrick Sawyer's and spouse of one of the physicians who participated in the management of the index case. She is stable, but still on treatment at the isolation ward in Lagos. So far, all the reported cases of the Ebola virus disease in Nigeria have their root in the index case, the late Mr. Patrick Sawyer. This is an indication that thus far, Nigeria has contained the disease outbreak. I wish to reassure Nigerians and indeed the global community that the government shall remain vigilant and will not relent as government in our effort working with our partners to ensure that the disease is kept out of the country.
Meanwhile, in Lagos State, Commissioner for Health Jide Idris has kicked against what he terms rumors and false stories making the rounds, especially on social media, as regards the Ebola virus disease in the state. Idris, while addressing journalists today, said such false information being disseminated are capable of causing unnecessary tension among people and undermine efforts towards effectively containing the virus in the state.
A critical and pervading challenge is the issue of rumors and false stories being disseminated, especially via the social media. These continue to create unnecessary and unavoidable anxiety and worries within the polity. They have the capacity to undermine the efforts being made to contain and manage this outbreak, as those who ought to present themselves for treatment may get discouraged. Malign government in the face of residents and first stigmatization of individuals and businesses. Let me explain again, because yesterday, read on the social media on one of these units that one of the cases that we had in isolation tested positive, which was totally false. And that created a lot of alarm. We received phone calls, text messages, even from the US and within Nigeria here. And that's why I say that this one, it can create unnecessary anxiety. And also it can negatively affect these same people because people will start running away from them. And that's why I felt it necessary to bring it to your notice. In addition, rejection of federal patients, that means patients who present with fever in our hospitals, without prior assessment constitutes another challenge. As same may also increase stigma and deter self-reporting. Not everybody with a fever or hemorrhage has come down with Ebola viral disease. A situation where these cases are automatically referred to the mainland general hospital is not good practice.
Now, the Health Commissioner seized the opportunity to give an update on measures taken to effectively manage the virus in the state. He also warned against the stigmatization of patients which have been discharged, or patients now who have been discharged and certified free of the virus.
In line with approved processes, WHO international health regulations, we have always segregated confirmed Ebola cases from suspected or probable cases. Suspected cases are also segregated based on whether they are symptomatic or not. This logically is not to prevent cross-infection. This logically is to prevent cross-infection from a confirmed case to a probable case or suspected case whose confirmatory test may turn out to be negative, as has been witnessed severally in the past. I need to reiterate that a contact becomes infective only when symptoms appear, fever being a game changer. By and large, only symptomatic contacts are admitted into our isolation ward. Asymptomatic contacts are only admitted when the index of suspicion that they may be lost to follow-up is very high.
The World Health Organization has said that the current Ebola outbreak is taking its toll on health workers in the West Africa sub-region. According to the WHO, an unprecedented number of doctors and nurses have been infected with the virus in Africa, with some eventually dying. The health body said infections in medical workers are due to a shortage of protective equipment and staff, as only 1 or 2 doctors are available for 100,000 patients in some countries. WHO added that the heavy toll on healthcare workers had consequences that further impeded control efforts, such as the closure of health facilities. The current outbreak is the largest ever and has killed an estimated 2,615 people. Prominent doctors in Nigeria, Sierra Leone and also Liberia are among the victims claimed by Ebola. There's no cure for Ebola, but with intensive care treatment and proper hydration, patients have a chance of survival. To politics now, you could say everyone saw this coming. The Deputy Governor of Enugu State, Sunday Onyebuchi, has been impeached by the State House of Assembly. His removal from office, which was announced Tuesday morning, comes a day after the probe panel investigating allegations of gross misconduct against him submitted its report to the State House of Assembly. The 7-man panel found the Deputy Governor guilty of wrongdoings. The House Leader, Honorable Ude Okoye, who moved the motion for the adoption of the report, said the panel had come up with the conclusion that the allegations of gross misconduct leveled against Onyebuchi by the House have been proved. Meanwhile, even though the details of his impeachment are still sketchy, the Deputy Governor's removal was highly anticipated following his falling out with the State Governor Sullivan Chime. The Assembly, which ordered his removal, had accused Onyebuchi of operating a commercial poultry at his official residence at Government House, Enugu. Well, you can also say we saw this one coming as well. Former national chairmanship aspirant and founding member of the All Progressives Congress, Chief Tomokimi, has declared that he is no longer a member of the main opposition party in Nigeria. Ikimi says he will cease to be a member of the party from Wednesday, August 27th, 2014. Even though he didn't give reasons for his withdrawal from the party, his participation in the APC has been limited since the National Convention of the party in June, which produced Chief John Oyegun as the party's national chairman. He had actually run for the position of chairman of the party, but withdrew on the eve of the election, saying the party leadership forced him to do so. And even though he's not disclosed which party he would be joining next, there are speculations he might be going back to the PDP, which he left some years ago. So you could say it's back to base for Chief Tomokimi. The police said Tuesday that 8 of its 35 personnel who went missing during an attack on the police mobile force training camp over the weekend at Gwoza, Borno, have been found. Boko Haram insurgents raided the camp last week, with as many as 35 of the policemen in the training institution declared missing. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu, who confirmed the latest development to newsmen in Abuja, said the officers were found in the last 2 days. He expressed hope that more of the men would be found with the ongoing search and rescue efforts. Now, the All Progressives Congress has described the reported fleeing of 480 Nigerian soldiers to Cameroon during Boko Haram's Monday attack in Cameroon Gala and the seizure of some Nigerian towns by the terrorist group as a national embarrassment. In a statement released in Lagos Tuesday by its spokesperson Lai Mohammed, the party called on President Goodluck Jonathan to urgently address Nigerians on what it termed the worsening security situation in the northern part of the country. The party also reiterated its call for an urgent national conference on security that will help provide a solution to the insurgency in Nigeria, which it says has now become a clear and present danger to the survival of the country. APC also says it supports any sincere effort by the federal government to end the insurgency as quickly as possible. Now, reactions have been trailing that report of Nigerian soldiers who fled to Cameroon following a fierce battle with members of the Islamist sect Boko Haram in the border town of Cameroon Gala in northeast Borno State. Reports had emerged that the Nigerian soldiers had fled to Cameroon, having been overpowered by the insurgents who attacked the Borno town. The military has since dismissed the report, saying that what the soldiers actually did was simply, in its words, a tactical maneuver. Now, we sought the opinions of two security experts on this worrying development, and here's what they told us.
I think we need to kind of put it in a context. First of all, they didn't flee to Cameroon, and that is patently wrong. That's a wrong conception of what happened. There was an engagement between Boko Haram and the military in Cameroon Gala in Borno State. And if you know that geography, Gamboro is right on the border near Banki with Cameroon. And so the military went in what we call fresh pursuit or hot pursuit. It is the right of a law enforcement agent or a military officer to pursue a fleeing felon or a terrorist. In this case, the person that was fleeing was the BH elements, and the military, they were in hot pursuit of them, and they crossed in the process of that hot pursuit. They crossed over into Cameroonian territory and penetrated. I don't know how long, perhaps 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 kilometers, because it was a fresh pursuit situation. There was a shooting war going on, and they were chasing the bad guys. And when they got deep into Cameroonian territory, remember, BH already have hideouts in Cameroon, so they melted in in that environment. And so the Nigerian soldiers, they were in search of them when they encountered Cameroonian elements.
It's a hard sell. The truth of the matter is we have not been getting the truth from the Nigerian military. And for me, I will say there are a couple of reasons why you will not get the truth from this. And if you don't get the truth, it's difficult to help. And if you can't help, then they continue in their mistakes as it goes on. Obviously, it is not possible. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but the fact that the Nigerian military, knowing its international boundaries, will venture into a sovereign nation with arms and ammunition in the name of a mistake is totally unacceptable. We should not accept that as an excuse. You see, but then the other way around, are they running away actually from the insurgents? Then it gives us a serious cause for worry. You see, in giving out information, there are a couple of things to look out for. One, it is either that the person that is giving out the information is not getting the facts correctly from the front itself, from the battlefront, or it is what you call a propaganda. Propaganda works in two ways: against the insurgents and then against the people. Because if you're making a propaganda statement, then you are putting the people under confusion because they obviously will not know what the truth is. And like I said before, you don't know the truth, then it's difficult to assist them.
Well, let's take something business related now. The National Council on Power has instructed the Ministry of Power to collaborate with relevant agencies to develop a national policy on energy efficiency and conservation. The move is aimed at phasing out heavy energy consuming devices from homes, offices and industries in the country, with a plan towards ensuring that all electrical equipment and household electrical items are in compliance with international low energy consumption guidelines. The council also recommended that a minimum of 160 billion naira be made available to the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, to take care of its annual expenditure on operations. To some foreign news now. The United Nations mission in South Sudan has said one of its helicopters had crashed in Bentui, with unconfirmed reports saying the aircraft was shot down. Speaking on the incident, the UN said 3 crew members of the plane died while 1 survived. Thousands of people have been killed this year in bitter fighting between South Sudan's army and rebel forces. Bentui, the capital of the oil-rich Unity State, has changed hands several times, but a ceasefire agreement is currently in place in the region. Investigations regarding the cause of the incident are set to begin as soon as possible. The Russian government Tuesday claimed that a group of soldiers captured in eastern Ukraine had crossed the border by accident. Ukraine earlier announced that it had captured 10 soldiers Monday in the area of Amroskivia near the Russian border in Donetsk region. But Russian military sources quoted by state news agencies have claimed the soldiers crossed the border by mistake. The incident occurred ahead of a key meeting between Ukrainian Petro Poroshenko and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Kiev and the United States have repeatedly accused Moscow of supporting the separatist insurgency raging in its east, a claim Russia has repeatedly denied. More than 2,000 people have died in months of fighting between Ukrainian forces and separatists in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Meanwhile, Moscow has announced plans to send another aid convoy into eastern Ukraine this week. Russia defied Ukraine's warning and sent dozens of lorries carrying what it called humanitarian supplies to aid the rebel-held city of Luhansk on Friday. To some sports news, and rather strange I should say, embattled president of the Nigerian Football Federation NFF, Aminu Maigari, has reportedly been arrested by the Department of State Services in Abuja. He was said to have been arrested Tuesday alongside the Secretary General of the NFF, Musa Amadu I should say, and a member of the NFF board, Christopher Green, as proceedings for the general meeting of the NFF began. Reason for the arrest has not yet been disclosed. Maigari was recently reinstated as chairman of the NFF by FIFA after being impeached by the NFF board members in July. Over the past few weeks, the NFF has been embroiled in a leadership tussle between Aminu Maigari and Mike Ume. Now, Manchester City midfielder Frank Lampard has finally announced his retirement from international football. The 36-year-old, who was released by Chelsea in June, is currently on loan in Man City. Of course, he amassed a total of 106 caps for the Three Lions and captained the team in his final match against Costa Rica at the World Cup in Brazil. Speaking on his retirement, the midfielder admitted it was a tough decision for him to make, but revealed that his move to the USA played a big role in helping him make up his mind. Lampard played in 5 major tournaments since making his international debut against Belgium in 1999. Since then, he scored a total of 26 goals in the process. His 106 caps makes him the 6th most capped English player of all time. Retirement leaves England coach Roy Hodgson with a big decision to make concerning the England's captain's armband, as Steven Gerrard also retired in June. Well, we can only wish him all the best of luck in retirement. And that's it on News Now. We thank you very much for watching. We're back again